I recently took Tom Cruiser to one of my favorite national parks in South Africa to test all the amazing overlanding products fitted to the car by the team at Big Country. Enjoy the magic that is Mapungubwe National Park.
I got to Mazhou Campsite late yesterday afternoon and I couldn't believe it, the campsite was full. I had to actually squeeze in my little tent onto a tiny little stand that nobody else wanted. Luckily for me, there's a beautiful stand under a Mazhou tree opening up later this morning, and the guy Fabio, who's been camping there for the last 3 nights, said that he would put my camping chair and table right in the middle when he leaves. So in the meantime, I'm doing an early morning game drive here in the western section of Mapungubwe. The last couple of times I came to Mapungubwe was during the rainy season in midsummer. So the veld was lush and green, and there were even some yellow devil's thorn flowers around. At the moment it's late August, towards the end of the dry season, so everything is dull and dusty. But I must admit that doesn't really bother me, because it means visibility is excellent, which is always great for game viewing.
As you may have seen in a previous video of mine, I recently took Tom Cruiser to Johannesburg to have him kitted for overlanding at Big Country. Now I thought, before I drive to some extremely remote campsites, let me rather test all of the new overlanding products closer to home first. So that's the real reason for coming to Mapungubwe. Not only to show you how special this place is, but also to test these products in the field.
So what I have learned already from the short drive from Hoedspruit to Mapungubwe yesterday is that the awning and the roof rack at the top doesn't make nearly as much noise as I thought they would. And the extra wind resistance and weight also hasn't significantly influenced my fuel consumption, which is a big win. What I have noticed though is that the back end of the Prado is definitely sagging a little bit, so I'll have to add something like air helpers to prevent the suspension from bottoming out in the future. For now though, let's go and see whether Fabio has left yet.
He had indeed, but I found an even better spot at the far end of the campsite. So it was time to unpack and set up camp. And now, last but not least, time to put up my new favorite product, the Ostrich Wing Awning. It's hot here in the Limpopo Valley. Man, you can't believe how glad I am that I got this campsite. When I got here yesterday afternoon and it was chock and block full, I just couldn't believe it. So top tip, and I know this is not easy, but if you can get to Mazhou Campsite between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, you should have plenty of stands to choose from. I think today I'm just gonna enjoy the peace and quiet and camp, maybe edit a few videos, and then late this afternoon I'll head out on a game drive again. Mazhou Campsite lies in the far western tip of Mapungubwe National Park and consists of 10 stands that each have power, water, a dustbin and a braai stand. The campsite stands are decently spaced and most of them have plenty of shade. In the middle of the campsite is a small communal ablution block, and around the edge a few electric strands to keep out larger animals. There are, however, plenty of naughty vervet monkeys around, as well as some very relaxed bushbuck. I have made a friend. Here she is. She licked my toes earlier when I was sleeping.
and now she's just watching me work. She's awesome.
If you like birds, you'll love Mazhou Campsite. At 3:30 that afternoon, I headed out on another game drive.
Man, it is still so hot. I just can't stop sweating. Under normal circumstances, I would have just driven straight to the Malatswa hide and waterhole to sit and wait for the elephants there. But for some reason, there's no water at the moment. Just a lot of mud. But luckily for the elephants, there's still water in the Limpopo River, which is uncommon for this late in the year. And this morning when I drove around in this area, I saw loads of elephant tracks and dung. So I'm pretty confident if I just drive around in this beautiful area, I'll find it. Haha, I just spotted some elephants there under a big mashatu tree in the distance, but it looks like the road runs right past it. Wow, this is just magical. They're walking straight towards me. Oh, it's the most incredible feeling to be surrounded by elephants. Tabby, my love, you would have absolutely loved this. If you're enjoying this elephant sighting as much as I am and you want to help me go on more adventures like this, please do consider becoming a patron of the channel. Patreon is a platform that allows people to support their favorite content creators by making a small monthly donation. And in return for that, you get some rewards like early access to the videos, some behind the scenes footage, and even mentions in the videos. So if you'd like to support the Safari Expert YouTube channel, do go and check out the link at the top of the video description. A massive shout out to my existing patrons. I really do appreciate you guys very, very much. I couldn't have asked for a more wonderful first day in Mapungubwe. And that evening, as I listened to roaring lions in the distance, I was already looking forward to exploring a different part of the park the following morning. I got up super early this morning to come and drive the Tshugulu 4x4 eco route, also here in the western side of Mapungubwe. Now, I haven't driven this road in many years, but what I can remember from the last 2 times that I did so, it was very overgrown, extremely beautiful, and full of elephants. Man, I love driving over these rocks. Yeah, I've lost my way on one of these big rock slabs. There's usually little yellow rhino signs, or a little yellow rhino on a green block that show you which way to go. So I haven't gotten lost yet, but now all of a sudden I just lost the route. Ah, there it is, there it is. So many animals have walked over the two-track at the edge of the rock that I just didn't see it. Back on track. I was just starting to see more and more elephant dung and tracks, and now I've found a small herd because it looks like there's water here. Lovely. So there's a small herd of elephants busy drinking and a herd of zebra making their way as well. Man, this is Africa at its best. It's got such an incredibly wild feel to it. That's a cool thing about coming on this eco trail. It just takes you way, way off the beaten track and you're in proper wilderness. I don't want to leave this spot. It's so wonderful. But there's a long way of the route left and I want to go and find some baobab trees. Bye Zebbies, bye Ellies.
You can drive the Tshugulu Eco Trail free of charge, and you need to give yourself 4 or 5 hours to complete the whole route. The sand gets very thick in places, so don't attempt to drive it without a 4x4. It's also very easy to get lost, so make sure you've got Tracks for Africa loaded on your GPS.
I'm about 7 kilometers into the Tshugulu 4x4 eco route and I'm lost. I got to a junction and I couldn't find the little yellow rhino sign. But the lady at reception said that the elephants do knock them over. Luckily I've got Tracks for Africa on my GPS, so I know more or less where I am. I definitely wouldn't come and drive here without it. Hey, there's a little yellow rhino, so I'm definitely back on track. That's good news. Wow. Now that, folks, is what you call a baobab tree. Well, that's my day made. I've only done about 18 kilometers of the eco trail, which is probably about a third of it, but I think I'm gonna slowly start heading back to camp because it's getting very, very hot.
On my way back to Mazhou Campsite, I bumped into hundreds of elephants, all heading down to the Limpopo River.
can't tell you how much I've enjoyed camping here at Mapungubwe National Park for the last 2 days. You know, I watch guys like Edward Barth and Ryan from 4x4 Ventures and Adrian from Rome Overlanding, all those guys. I watch all their overlanding videos on YouTube, and I always wished that I could travel to wild places like they do as regularly as they do. And now finally that the Prado is kitted, I can do that. So I thought, let me quickly take you around and show you what's been added and how I've been using it here in Mapungubwe. Now, first of all, and most importantly, is obviously the roof rack, because it just allows you to bring so many extra things without having to tow a trailer. So on top there is a spade and a high lift jack that I haven't even used, along with a second spare wheel. But there's also space for 4 jerry cans. Again, I didn't have to add them because I'm close to a filling station here in Mapungubwe. But on the far side is the awning that I have used a lot, and I've also used the wood box, which is so handy because one of my pet peeves is when you buy a bundle of wood on the side of the road and then you strap it down nicely, and 3 kilometers later on a corrugated road it's loose again. So now I just chuck the wood inside and take it down when I get to my campsite. I also like this little bit of extra space in the front because it allowed me to strap down a second table along with my ground sheet. And I think what I'm going to do in the future is have a nice big canvas bag made that fits all my chairs, and I'll strap down that there as well so it doesn't take up space in the back. Now, speaking of the back, I just absolutely love this new setup in the back. If we open it up, you'll see that I've got the big country double drawer at the base, along with a National Lunar fridge freezer at the top. And this setup works perfectly because I've got all this extra space on the side to pack my clothes and camera stuff and whatever doesn't fit into the drawers. The fridge freezer has been running on my dual battery system that's just right next to it, and I've actually only run the fridge off that up to now. It's been incredibly hot here, so the battery's worked quite hard, or at least the fridge has worked quite hard. But I think what I will get in the future is something like a portable power station so I can sit working a little bit further away from the vehicle. Up to now, I've just been sitting at this little table here, which, by the way, slides into the roof rack as well. And I've just run power from the power point here in Mazhou Campsite. Now, arguably my favorite new addition to the Prado is this big country Ostrich Wing Awning that gives me shade during the day. And as you would have seen earlier in this video, it's incredibly quick and easy to open up. What I really love about it is that it actually has these side panels. I've just put one up to help me eliminate the glare behind the laptop while I was working earlier today. And you can put these panels on all 4 sides to make a nice little cozy room if it's really windy or maybe rainy outside. Again, super quick and easy to do. And you'll also see that it's got these little drop-down poles, 3 of them, that just allow you to lift the awning a little bit. In general, it's quite high. You can see I fit in easily, but because the earth is a little bit uneven here, I had to lift it here a little bit at the back. And that, folks, is my brand new camping setup, and I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying it, and I cannot wait to share more wild camping adventures with you here on the Safari Expert YouTube channel. My next big trip is to the Kalahari Transfrontier Park in November, and I'm visiting all 3 main camps, and who knows, maybe I'll get out before that, but you can definitely look forward to that series later this year. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and as always, feel free to ask any questions you might have in the comments down below. Until next time.